Yes, yes, welcome world, welcome back to another edition of Play Your Position with Lady SAVvage and DJ Superior. How everybody out there? What's up, baby girl? How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
All right, I'm chilling. For those who don't know, this is a new show. If you missed our first show, this show, what happened? I'm off.
Yeah, it's gonna drive me crazy.
Okay. All right, see, I'm playing my position. I'm letting her do what she do. Sometimes you gotta play your position. But anyway, this show we talk about things that happen in the world and like barbershop talk, salon talk, people on the street talk, or like she said, at your grandma's house or whatever.
Kitchen table talk.
Kitchen table talk. You know, this is what we do. So like I said, if you did not hear me, I said Lady SAVvage, DJ Superior, sponsored by Superior Natural Spring Water. It's better when it's cold. All right. What's good, baby girl?
Not much.
Okay. So what is this? What is this one? What are we talking about on this one?
Can a single mom raise a man to be a man? And vice versa. Can single fathers raise women to be women?
Wow. It's a deep one. Okay, what is your I'm gonna let you start this one off. What do you think?
Well, I'll start off with being a single mother. I don't think that women can raise men to be men, especially if they have a lot of anger in their heart towards that child's father. We put our sons learn to be the next generation of dogs because of, yes, their father should be there doing what he's supposed to do, but once a man steps away and it's your responsibility, it's not your responsibility to break them from what was, or to hurt. How do I say it? It's not our responsibility to make sure that they're not like their fathers. And a lot of times women don't know what they want in a man. All they know is what they don't want their sons to become. So it's like, don't be a liar like your father. Don't be a cheater like your dad. But we're not teaching them the positive things that we want in a man. So recently I sat down, I had someone tell me to write down the attributes I wanted in a man. So I was writing it down, and halfway through it, I said, why am I writing this down for a man that don't exist yet? When I have my son in my life, what are the things I want my son to be? What are the positive things? What type of man do I want my son to be? So I wrote my list based off the positive things that I want my son to be. And then what I've been doing now is pulling that into my son. Like, I'm not one of those women that like being told Happy Father's Day. I am not a man. I don't have a dick. I don't want a dick. And I don't want to be, well, dick, but you know what I mean. But I don't want to be in that category, because then that means that I'm too masculine for my son. And I had to pull back, because when me and my ex first split up, I did become very, very strong and very masculine towards my children in general. And then I had to realize I was changing, and that was not a positive change to them. For me to become aggressive to get them to do what I needed them to do. When their father was there, they were doing what they were supposed to do and listening to me anyway. So I changed my thought process on how I talk to my son. I don't allow my daughters to even yell and scream at their brother. And my son is a very loving son, so I don't need to really tell him how to talk to his sisters, because he talks to them properly. But I had to tell my daughters, this is not proper. This is not how you're supposed to be with your brother. This is not how you're supposed to talk to a son. When we're yelling and screaming and cursing at our sons, All we're teaching our sons is that's how women are supposed to be towards them. And I refuse to let my son be raised and I'm walking in the street and see some little girl screaming and cursing my son out. Because then it'll be a problem. I gotta punch the girl in her throat. And that's just the truth. So what I do with my son, I take a lot of time to talk to my son. I talk to my daughters too. I talk to them about finances. My son is probably one of my only children that talks about having children. So I talk to him about what type of father he wants to be. I don't talk to him about the negative. I don't say, oh, don't be a drunk like your father, or don't be a crackhead like your grandfather. I don't say, which I'm not saying neither one of them were. What I'm saying is, those are not the things that I put in him. And when I see my son, I see my son. I don't see a reflection of his father. And I don't see a reflection of my mistakes. So that does not make me angry towards my son. I find a lot of women that I have been around treat their sons that way. Now, if you're a woman that took time and you are taking time to learn the psychology of how you want a man to be to you, then you can maybe then breathe that into your son. But most women have so much anger because of the breakup that they do not take the time to really pour the love into their son. Or you have those women who make their sons their husbands. And then they're pouring too much love into them. And then they're doing too much for their sons. And then when their sons get married, they're over the house in everybody's business. Then they're causing conflicts in between the marriage. I've dealt with men who were mama's boys and there's nothing wrong with having a special relationship with your son. But when you have a special relationship with your son to the point where you have made your son your husband, that is an issue. There's a certain level of cutting off. When your son starts moving out and they have a family, it is time for you to call them less to fix stuff at your house. It is time for you to respect that they have a family and respect that part of their lifestyle as well.
Okay. Got you. I got what you're saying. I come from a household of a single mother.
So do I.
So when you said that a woman can't, whatever, a woman, in this world, they always say a woman can do so much. Like everything is on the backbone of a woman. So my mother did what she can do with me to the age that she did it. But my mother was in love. I mean, you can read about the story in my book. It's called The Man That Walked the Dog. It's in all bookstores worldwide. You can get it. You'll see me and DMX on the cover. But anyway, my mom did a pretty good job with me. I was kind of overprotected with her. I used to help break her up with a lot of men. Like I would go in my mom's pocketbook, take something, put it in a man's pocket, his jacket. Then I'd, yo, mom, he was going through your. She was like, what? Yeah, he was going through your stuff. And she used to look in there. She was like, so how did you get this? He was like, that little lying bastard. Like, I used to do that and break her up with men. Because I was mommy's boy. I was like a mommy's boy. So I didn't want her with nobody.
I have my own ways. I have my own tricks on getting my mother.
Nobody could be good enough for my mother, you know?
My mother didn't get a man until me and my sister went away for the summer. So I understand doing tricks.
But the tricks, it backfired. Because one time, now, all the men probably were good men. This last man wasn't good, but she wasn't trying to hear me. And this is the one I should have been doing this with. And she's with him now. But I don't like him, you know.
How does that relate to our topic?
Because
your mother raising you.
Because as she was raising me and trying to raise me, he was in the household, but she would keep me separate. She was like, don't say nothing to my son, I'll deal with my son, blah, 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 blah. So she still was raising me. So what I'm saying to you is, she only got the man because she thought she needed to bring somebody in to help raise me with her. And when she saw that
Okay.
that was not the case,
I think you misunderstand. I don't think that women should just go out and find a man to raise their
I
son.
didn't say that.
Or,
I'm
oh,
telling
okay.
you what
That's
she
not what I
thought
said.
in her mind.
Okay. Because
She thought she had to do something because she couldn't raise me enough to. She couldn't raise me enough to. I thought somebody was beeping saying, "Yeah."
yeah, but at a certain point, if you have a man in your house and he can't interact with your child, that's not really what you were trying to do, is what I'm saying. But as far as what I'm saying is,
Before he was there, Mom Duke had to raise me by herself.
yes,
And I'm telling you, certain things she could do, but certain things she couldn't do, but she did the best that she did. And it didn't mess me up, it helped me. But what hurted me all the time, we don't have to talk about it now, but I have to. What hurt about it, I used to sit around and wondered why he didn't want us. You know? But my mother did what she did to make me forget about that.
but this is what I'm saying.
So some women can do it.
Because we've had conversations, and
There's some strong mothers. I know a lot of
I'm
mothers
not
that didn't have no
being
men.
strong is.
No, I'm talking about
I
raising
think that
men.
is the most aggravating statement to say about a woman. To be
Why?
honest, because it's not that we're strong because we want to be. We're strong
gotta
because
be.
we gotta be.
Yeah.
So that's not fair to say. And that does not make you a good mother. What I'm saying is there are certain conversations that me and you have had. And there's certain things, certain traits of you that I have witnessed that you don't have to tell me that you was raised by a single woman. Or that there wasn't strong men around you. Because there doesn't have to be a father. Strong men alone is good enough. It's the same thing as when I raised my first set of kids. My daughter had very strong men around her. Okay? These are not men I necessarily were dating. And to this day, my daughter makes very good decisions about men.
I didn't have no strong men around.
But with her being in that circle where she saw how good a man can treat a woman, it taught her what she wanted in a man. And it taught her to seek a man. What I'm saying, and I'm not talking about all single mothers, I'm really talking about angry single mothers. Because they're not treating their children right. They're not raising their sons right. If you're beating your son or telling your son to stop crying or pussifying your son, that's an issue to me. Okay. And I've met a lot of men where I can have one conversation with them and I know when they've been raised by a woman and I know when they've been raised with males around them.
Well, in the beginning when we started, you said, can a woman raise a son?
Yes.
So I gave you some situations where it was like that. I come from a project.
Because, and we've talked about this before, a lot of your drive was to prove people wrong.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about me right now.
No, but
I come from a project where there's other women that I know, other mothers.
I was raised predominantly with my mother. Then I went to live with my father. And I've had this conversation with a lot of people. The person that taught me to be a woman was my father. I did not learn how to do certain respectful things, how to even properly take care of myself until I was around my father. Until he taught me certain things. He taught me game about men, and he also brought me up and taught me about certain things about women. And to be honest, like my first good bra, my dad had, now he did have a lot of women. My dad had one of his women take me shopping and got me my first good bra. You understand? So I'm not saying that in a whole, but there are a lot of women, the women who say they could raise a son are usually the ones out here doing dumb shit. Because when it comes to having a man in your child life, it is somewhat of something you need, or at least a male's opinion. So up until very recently, I at least had someone who knew my son, maybe not fully all the way around my son, but knew my children. And a lot of times I would bounce topics off of them. So recently something very shocking happened with my son. And not bad, but something where I was like, my baby. So that person would be usually the first male I called to say, okay, is this normal? Is this age appropriate? And how should I deal with it? Because a lot of times we don't ask how we should deal with stuff. We deal with it on a female basis. So therefore we're teaching our sons to deal with stuff on a feminine basis. We're not teaching them in a masculine basis. That's more what I'm saying. So when I'm with my son.
So you think the men,
like
single fathers, is what are they doing with the females?
Everybody, it depends on the
Teaching
father.
to be.
No, I don't think, and that's the crazy thing. I don't think men teach their teach their daughters masculinity. A lot of women learn that's not the same as being masculine. Okay, a lot of women, I know in my situation with my family, we had a history of abuse with men, dating back to my great-great-grandmother. She was killed by her husband. So what it caused was a trickle-down effect of women having a lot of anger towards men. And to the point where the next generation, instead of a man hitting her, she was fighting men. Okay? I've chose to break that cycle when I noticed it was a cycle. Because trust me, I have fought for years. You know this. And when I came to, and I very rarely have fights with women, and when I came to the conclusion that it was an anger inside of me, I started working on that anger. And it's been, I'ma say about 15 years when I noticed that this was an issue. So I decided, I made a conscious effort to start looking at men differently. And looking at men in a situational basis, not under this one umbrella of abuse that had trickled down from one generation to the next generation to the next generation, including with how I dealt with my daughter and how I treat my daughters, how my daughters treat my son. I do not make my kids all learn how to cook and clean in my house. I do not pull out just the girls or just the boys and stuff like that. I don't do that part of it, but I do have masculine jobs for my son. You're taking out the garbage. I don't want my daughters to touch the garbage. I don't like to touch the garbage. So those are types of things that I would say is a little sexist.
Say a household that only has a female daughter in it.
Then we in trouble. Because that garbage is going to keep out. No, I don't, obviously, if it's like that, the female has to. But we're not talking about that situation. We're talking about with the son in the house. Okay. And I just feel like a lot of times, because of the way we discipline our sons or the way we're talking to our sons, and not making sure that we're at least bouncing ideas off of other males, that sometimes we're teaching our sons in a feminine way. We're basing our teaching of our son based off of our emotion and not off of whether this is good for him.
I raised my daughters. I got two daughters. One's a stepdaughter. She doesn't like to be called that. She's like, I'm your daughter, and that's it.
So why you even say?
Because I just want the world to know.
The world don't need to know.
You're right. They don't need to know. So erase that. They don't need to know nothing. Anyway. I got two daughters, you know what I'm saying? And it is kind of crazy raising a daughter. You know, I took my daughter out one day and I was going to get her a sports bra because she was, kind of whatever. So I didn't know what I was doing. I went in and I said, how about this? And she just looked at me like that. It got to be a certain... what are you trying to suffocate me? So it was things that I had to learn or whatever. But there's a lot of things like they go through, like period stuff like that, and I wasn't ready for that stuff. Like in my mind.
But did you ask other females?
What do you mean?
When your daughters were getting close to puberty, did you talk to other females?
Talk to other females about what?
About how to take care
Oh, how
of
to-
your daughter.
I didn't know what you were saying. You saying that I asked for advice?
Yeah, did you ask for advice?
No, because their mothers were still there, but most of the time they was with me. I had to try to figure it out. But no, I didn't ask nobody. I just, they had people they can ask, and mommy knows, and mommy told me to do this, and mommy. So I was just following the lead. But I saw how crazy it could get. Raising a daughter is kind of scary. Your daughter could come home pregnant.
Raising a son is scary.
How do you deal with that?
Raising a son is scary.
Yeah, the son could come. See, I'm about to say something, you're going to get mad, but
Go
the
ahead.
son could come home and, Mom, I'm dead, I got somebody pregnant. Get that to her. I'm just saying. There's fathers that'll do that.
And what if she don't do that?
Oh, she
And
can't-
we're talking about the single mother. So if my son came back to me and he had got somebody pregnant,
How would you do it?
I would be heartbroken.
Why would you be heartbroken? You about to be
Because
a grandma.
First off, I'll be the flyest grandma out here.
You probably would.
But that's not the point. No, if he was not in the proper situation, and I'm not talking about married, but if he's not financially able to take care of that child, then yes, that is an issue for my son. And that is an issue for me. Whether I have a son or a daughter, is I feel like I'm raising my children to be self-sufficient before they decide to start having children. And I have those conversations with with my young kids, and when my older kids were young, I had the conversations with them. It may sound a little bit loopy that I was having conversations with them in 3rd and 4th and 5th grade, but I did. Even down to the period talk. When my daughter hit a certain age, I started having her practice putting on a pad. Even if she wasn't getting her period, I talked to her in depth about what her body was
That must have
doing.
been crazy.
I talked to her in depth about what her body was doing. My son just started having body odor. And now I've watched my friends who have sons, and they be like, oh my God, go wash your butt, you stink. That's not how I approached my son. I was like, oh my gosh, baby, you became a man. You're a man now. You're a man now, so please go take a shower. But go take a shower. From the day that I told him that he was becoming a man, that boy has been taking 2 showers with no problem. My friends' sons will go days, or to the point where they're practically yelled and screamed to get in the shower. So I think it depends on, for me, it depends on how you approach certain things with kids. And I try really hard to talk everything out with the children. And not even if my son came home and told me a girl was pregnant, I would probably have to walk out the room for a little while, decompress. Because I try not to react before. We're having a conversation here, so I'm going to be emotional
You're
here.
You're going to react.
So when I'm normally dealing with certain things, especially something shocking like that, I try to take time to decompress, to think it over before I react.
So basically, you talk in the mirror a lot.
Not in the mirror. More
In the
meditate
mirror,
and pray.
What am I going to do? Oh my God. How did this happen?
No, I'm more
I'm
meditate
going to
and
be
pray.
the flyest grandma out here.
Now, once the baby, no matter which order it is, I'm going to love the child. Period. Because you know me, love all the kids. I won't be happy. I will pray to God that I can get along with the child, with the mother and the grandparents and all of that type of stuff. But other than that, that's basically it.
So basically, what she's saying is right. Some of the stuff you're saying is right. So I got to give you that. Mom Duke was searching for love, but she made sure she raised her kids to the time she can raise them, and then she was searching for love. She like, look, I raised you enough. Can't do nothing else. You're on your own. So I was out there lost. So, I guess we could agree that it is hard to raise a son. We will be right back, and we will address something else, because this is like a two-part whatever. That was the single mother, single father. We'll be right back, and basically, we're going to get deep on something real quick. All right? We'll be right back.
Just no one else who cared.
Welcome back to Play Your Position. Play Your Position. See what I'm saying? With Lady Savage and DJ
Superior.
Okay?
Because he's superior.
Sponsored by Superior Natural Spring Water. It's better when it's cold. And you notice it's sitting here, so it must be hot because we ain't drinking. But okay, I said we was gonna get deep. We're about to get deep. Now we got that part, the first part, the people who just, if you just logged on, we just addressed, can a woman raise a man and can a man raise a young, female? We just got that, so you're gonna have to rewind it back to look at that part. So this part right here, I said, well, I'm about to get deep. Can a man, this is for you men now. How does a man feel being in a household with a woman that makes more money than you? And I ain't talking about oh, she got $5 raise at ShopRite or Walgreens or C.H. Martin's. I ain't talking about that. I mean, you should, be like, yeah, babe, you got a raise? That's what's up. $5? Yeah, that's what's up. I'm talking about she makes way more than you. I'm talking about you doing like 60, you good. She doing 100. How do you feel with that?
How do you feel?
Oh, you wanted me to go first?
Yes, this is a topic that you brought up for men. So how would you feel?
How would I feel? I'm a little different. I don't care if she makes more money. Because we're supposed to be a team. So if one year, what if I do something with BT or VH1 or something and I get a check and I make 200 million that year. But before I wasn't making that much, she was making whatever. I just don't have a problem with it when it's a team. It's a team. If you feel less than a man, I don't know. I wouldn't feel that way. If it's a team and that girl, I'm talking about a woman that's there with you. I'm talking about a female that if she went out and cheated, not slept with somebody. There's different cheatings. You can go out to eat with somebody and your man can see it or your woman can see him like, oh, you want to cheat? They call that cheating. That's a hookup. I could be getting some money from her and bringing it back to the house for us.
How is that have anything to do with the damn topic at hand?
I had to go around it for a minute. But on the script, I don't like the last subject we had. You went all over the place.
No,
but you went to the square and back. So what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with it. A woman could make more.
Do you know men that have?
Yeah, I know a couple. I ain't gonna say their name, but I know a couple of guy friends I know that girls make more money than them.
Do they have a problem with it?
One of them do. She throws it in his face all the time.
But that's why. It's not really the money.
But she throws it in his face around his friends.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. That's wrong.
Yeah, like we'll be at the house.
His issue is not her making more money. It's the way she reacts.
I think his issue is that too.
No.
Okay.
No. If she
Like I
was
said,
doing what she do,
We be at his house, we chilling, we eating, you know? There was one time I wasted some chips. I didn't know chips was so damn serious. But, you know, I ate a few. And the ones that's broken up, I don't want to eat them. Like, I don't feel like doing this. Like, so I ate the ones that was big, you know, and dipped the rest I left there. You better eat them chips. I ain't like somebody else buying something. I ain't wasting no money. I was like, what's that about?
so okay, is your friend is he not making enough or is he not contributing, period?
Mickey D's ain't paying him that much.
So yeah.
And he's been there a long time.
So it's her frustration on him not contributing. She's wrong for belittling him as a man.
Yeah, because he's trying.
But there's
he
a
just got
difference.
on the fries.
Yeah, because I'll use a situation that I know of. And shortly after the family got married, the man lost his job.
Okay.
And the wife took over, made the majority of the money.
Okay.
Now, in that situation, in the beginning, the person did belittle them, but it was more because of the outside influence of your friends. Like, girl, he's saying homie ain't doing something.
Oh, your friends are messed up.
Yes. And then there was certain situations where the kids had to be taken care of. And because of him not working, there wasn't that, oh, I need to rush home and do stuff. The father was able to handle certain situations. Then also, this particular man was able to cook, to clean, and to fix things.
I got one of those friends too. He's a dad, a home dad.
Yeah, a stay-at-home dad.
She wanted him to be there.
Yes, and after a while, the wife was able to relinquish over the responsibilities of what would have been considered a female
Right, so
job.
they were married.
Yes. And she eventually became okay with it, and she still treated him as a man.
Okay, my situation is none of those guys is married.
Okay. The issue with that situation, I know multiple people that are married where the wives make more money. A couple dating, but most of the people that I know, the wife did. Me personally, for the most part, I have always been in situations where either me and my partner made the same or they made more. But it was because of just that's the society. I could work more and he could work doing construction, and to be honest, he would make more money. So it was more of that situation. They could work 3 days a week and make what I'm working, you know?
Yeah.
I was in a situation where the person I was with was getting paid once a week. I was getting paid every 2 weeks. So of course my money coming home looked a lot less because of the taxes and all that type of stuff taken out of it. So anyway, back to the other story. So the issue then sprung up when tables turned, when a new baby was brought into the situation and the wife had to stay home. And then he was the one making money. And after a while, he actually turned to his wife when the child got a certain age and was like, oh, I think it's my turn again. You should go back to work.
So they was doing turns.
So, no. And they eventually broke up. But but it had to do with the respect issue. When the tables turned, he did not respect the fact that she was doing just as much as he was.
I know how that sounded when they broke up. F you and your broke ass.
Not everybody fights that way.
Some people do. A woman ain't just gonna leave and just be gone. She's gonna say something smart. It's in her nature.
No.
Yes.
I'm
I'm gonna get my stuff. No. I'm role playing for people.
I have since the time that I recognized the bull. I stopped arguing like that. I don't have arguments.
Okay,
We had a
you
discussion.
did.
We had a discussion the other day, and you were like, "Oh, if something happened, it would be why did I do it because of you?" And I told you, I said no, it would be an emotional reaction that you had because I wouldn't do something. There's certain things I don't.
don't remember.
Forget it. I'll bring it up after the cameras are off.
Okay.
But when there's certain conversations or certain arguments, I intentionally, now I'm not saying some women don't do that. I intentionally do not argue like that. I do not be like, F your kids, F your whole world, help your whole family drown, because I lived that and witnessed that in my life. And I had been in an abusive situation before. I choose not to live that way. So when I have a discussion or an argument with my partner, it's never that way. I never use threats, and I don't how do you say it? I don't belittle the person while I'm having a discussion with them.
Some women do.
No, I didn't say that some women don't. You said all women do. He said,
No,
you said that's what y'all do.
That's what y'all do. Majority, that's what y'all do.
The majority of women,
We're
you
gonna
might
say
have been around.
percentages. No, they're out there. They ain't with around me. I don't have those problems.
Then how would you know?
I always had my own apartment, so I was good. The female lived with me. I didn't live with them.
But how would you know?
How did I know I didn't have that problem?
No. How would you know if those females aren't around you? That's what you said. You said those females aren't around you.
You're right. They could be around me. They could be. Yeah, could be. If I was not left my own apartment at a young age and my mom left me to take care of myself, maybe I would have been living with a woman, and maybe she would have been making more than me. And how would I have dealt with it? You mind me close my eyes for like 2 minutes? I'm not sleeping. I'm in deep thought. How would I have dealt with it? This is how I would have dealt with it. I would have been the best stay-home boyfriend ever. I would have been the best.
But the problem is a lot of men that do that I'm not talking about something happened and they lost a job, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking about the men who seek out women who make more money. Mm-hmm. Most of them are bums. Most of them are the ones that cheat while you out, want to hit you, want to be on drugs, and want to rob from you. Mm-hmm. And the PlayStation. Oh my God.
Well, y'all buy it for us. Y'all
no. Don't say y'all. Don't say y'all. I have never.
Maybe you haven't, but there's women that buy their man a PlayStation. When
and then complain.
Oh, he in the house playing War and
then complain
and
about
whatever. Yankees versus Malvern in this new game they got out. Like, that's not a game. I'm just saying. I don't want y'all to go look for that game.
I know a female whose husband quit her job and told the job that he was quitting the job because his wife made the bag.
Okay. And she was cool with that? If she's cool with that.
If they like it, I love it. That's how I feel about this situation.
If she's cool with that.
If they like it, I love it. If
she's cool with that, he's blowing her down.
Maybe he is.
And she's not letting him go nowhere.
Maybe
and her girlfriends can say whatever the hell they want. They be like, I hear all of you bitches, but he's not going nowhere. Them sneakers you see him wearing, I bought those. This and this and this and this. They are women like that.
There are.
They're Jamaican women that's like, Jamaican women is not going to deal with a man that don't go out and work. I had a Jamaican girl. She was crazy. And she thought I needed 3 jobs. I was like, for what?
Because
you need to go out there and get another job. You can collect bottles too on the weekend. I'm not collecting no goddamn bottles. For what?
What chick was you messing with?
I was messing with a Jamaican girl that was crazy. But she was rich. Let me tell you.
Okay.
It's with the same thing that we're talking about. Big shout out to her. Her name is Janet.
Why do you? Okay, go on.
No problem saying their names.
Go.
I'm giving them props.
Go.
This girl had a lot of money. I don't know what lawsuit she had and whatever she had going on with her. Big shout out to my homegirl Odessa. She had a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And she was definitely a ride or die. Sort of like you, but not like you. You're more ride or die than her. But she was right there. Like, say you was here. She's here. I mean, yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, I kind of liked it for a little while. I know some men gonna say, "Oh, man, she was living with me in my apartment in the projects." So she came in when we started dating. I didn't want a girlfriend. I told her I didn't want one. She didn't want to hear that. She was like, "Yeah, whatever. I hear you. As soon as I give you something, we going out." I was like, "What?" I was like, "All right." So I held out a long time. But anyway, eventually, whatever happened, happened. She said, "How much is your rent?" Back then, rent was like $350, whatever it was. She paid it a year up front.
Damn.
I was like,
you was her bitch.
That's how I felt after a while.
You was her bitch.
Because I couldn't go do nothing. I'm DJing. I remember X one time. X, I don't know why, even though I seen him mess with massive women, and I always mind my business, never said nothing. He was always getting on me to be with her. And I didn't understand it. I was like, dog, she's the one, dog. You know what I'm saying? Be there for her, she'll be there for you. And I still look at him like, this dude is crazy.
He might have seen something in her you weren't seeing.
Now, the things that she made me do was crazy. I have pictures. I'm gonna show a picture. Matter of fact, look at this picture right here. She used to buy clothes, and I had to wear the same thing she had on, the same color. That's when I didn't like it. First, it was cool with her taking care of the bills. She used to buy my friends stuff. Word up, my friends used to be on her side. That's a good woman. I was like, man, get the hell out of here. She'll take them sneaker shopping. She was doing all that. She was wasting the money. I think whatever happened to her in life when she got that money, it was no value to her, so she was spending it. I didn't know that. Because I was like, why is she wasting her money? I think she was getting $10,000 a month. She was just wasting it. And I didn't understand. But I was happy my rent was paid and whatever. But one thing used to happen, like when I used to do parties at a young age, she was around me. They would book me for like $500. I would tell her, I got a show, I got a DJ tonight. She said, no, you don't. You're not DJing. I said, it's $500, they pay me. I'll pay you $1,000 to stay home. I said, F that party, I'm staying home. I did that a couple of times. There was times I made up stuff just to get money. Till she found out, one of my friends ratted me out. They were so close to her, they told her one day.
Because you was telling your business.
No, I didn't tell my business, they were my friends.
You told your friends that.
No, I told them, I said, watch this.
Exactly, you told on yourself.
Yeah, but how the hell she know?
Go to the grave.
All I know was one party, I said I was getting $800. Usually she would go, I'll give you $2,000, stay home, or $1,500. That day, she said, I think you should go get that money. I was like, so I have been with a woman that made more than me, and it didn't bother me or whatever. So, but she lived with me, so the apartment was in my name. So
I know that for me, it was not.
Us men need to be treated sometimes.
Yes, I completely agree with you.
I love being with a woman and she likes to take charge, and like you in the store buying something, she's like, I don't want you to have those.
And see,
a woman used to get on me about white tees. You wear too much white tees.
I'll do that, but that cannot be someone that's my man. If I'm telling you what you can do and what you shouldn't do,
why can't I be a man and you just telling me, you put me up on game?
It doesn't do it for me.
Why?
We can have a conversation. No.
And let you do that.
We can have conversations about what looks nice on you. That's one thing. But if I'm telling you, that's not what you said. You're saying telling you. I've told you before, I like to be told what to do. And I don't like to feel like a man. Allegedly. When I'm in a relationship, other than that, no. But when I'm in a relationship with a man, I want a man to lead me. Okay. I do not want to have to lead him.
So for instance, if we was out shopping,
yes,
and you looking at some stuff and you pick up some pumps, and I'll be like, Man, put them fucking pumps down. I don't want you.
It's
to
the
have
way
those.
you talk.
Oh, I gotta say
I
a different
talk.
one.
Yes.
Yo, babe, I don't want you wearing those. I want you wearing those right there. Those right there with some nice
I'm
retro
getting
clothes.
those.
Those are the ones I want you.
I'm getting those. I'm getting those. We going out tonight in that outfit. Trust and believe. I'll use this for example. This happened to me very recently, but I noticed it. The person didn't realize I noticed it, but I noticed it. So when I would come out and I'd be real sexy, because you know, I like to look sexy sometimes, and he would not say anything. He would never compliment me. He would just look me up and down. And one particular, I remember the day I noticed it.
What do you mean he wouldn't say nothing? What you talking about?
I went all out. I know I looked fly that day. I had a nice little crop top, little shorts, some big old high heels, just did my hair. I was looking phenomenal. He literally grabbed my hand, looked me up and down, and we just kept walking. My heart friggin' stopped.
You know what he
But
did?
then, what he would do is when I dressed more modest, he would make it a point to tell me how good I looked.
But you know
And
what
I
he
put
was
2
doing?
and 2 together. I'm not stupid. I put 2 and 2 together. He was hurting me. He was hurting me to dress the way he wanted me to dress. But what he didn't know is, I'm only gonna dress that way with you. When I'm out with my girls or when I'm out doing something else, I'm gonna dress how I want.
So basically, you didn't play your position.
Because that wasn't my position. He wasn't taking care of me. We're talking about a different situation. We're talking about a situation where we're dating, but for the most part, I'm paying my bills, you're paying your bills. When my marriage ended, I knew that I wanted to be in a different position. Eventually, of course, I don't mind a man making more money than me. That's not a problem. But I don't want to be beholden to a man. And I knew that I do feel that when the person is taking care of you, they have more control, or they at least appear to try to have more control over certain situations. So because of that particular thing with me personally, I don't want men giving me money. I don't want men buying me stuff. Because you asked me the other day, oh, you don't like men buying you stuff? Not really, because I feel like it comes with something. Especially when you spend, I'm not saying every man. I'm saying my experience.
Okay.
The experience that I have had when I have when I've been around men that start taking care of me, because I have had a lot of men take care of me, they usually believe that there's an ownership. And that's an issue to me, especially because I'm already a subservient woman. I don't need you to try to overpower me. Like, there's no reason for you to try to control me.
But that don't mean control. Maybe he just wanted.
No, I'm saying the situations that I've had. I had a guy one time who was paying the majority of my bills. Not gonna lie.
Play this position.
This guy called my phone company, asked for my phone records. I intercepted and put a password on my stuff. Because there was no reason. I wasn't cheating on him, but I did have a female friend who I was getting a little too close to. And he kind of figured out that the situation wasn't what he necessarily wanted it. But nothing happened with the girl. Listen, let me finish the story.
These women are the queens of doing that.
Let me finish the story. So what ended up happening is, while we're arguing, first off, he's throwing my phone around. And I'm like, whoa, sir. I literally took his phone. Took my phone, traded it with his phone. You can continue. And then in the midst of the conversation, he goes to me, you will never find a man that will take care of you better. What? You know what I told him?
What you doing?
The man before you took care of me and the man after you took care of me. I would be 500 pounds and still get a man to take care of me. Because I know.
After?
Yeah, I told him that.
You're saying when you get the next one, he'll do the same?
Yes. I told him the man before you took care of me.
I thought you had one on the side already.
No. I told him.
Because that's what it sounds like. You like the one
I told
after
him the
you.
man before you took care of me, the man after you would take care of me, and if I was 500 pounds, a man will take care of me because of the person that I am, because of what I personally bring to the table, not just finances, not just. I feel like if you are in a relationship with someone, y'all should constantly be upgrading each other. And in this particular situation with this particular person, we were constantly helping each other go to the next level financially and with things we were
So he was
owning.
upgrading you, telling you certain things he wanted you to wear.
No, this was not a certain. This
Oh, that's
particular
not the same
person
guy.
was not
Okay.
that. And when we did talk about clothing, it was more he would demean me. It was like if I was dressed too sexy, I would come outside. I would come out and he would go, listen, oh my God, why are you wearing that? It would break my heart.
Well, some of us men are different. Like, I wouldn't mind if the girl dressed sexy.
But every man is different. I don't mind course correcting certain things for my partner if I love them. But it always is how we interact with each other.
I don't care
if
how
I'm
you
not
do it.
interacting aggressively to you, I don't need you to be aggressive towards me.
You can go outside with Reynolds wrap, a rubber band.
You a lie. Well, you just said you don't want your girl on your arm.
No.
And she done been sleeping around with
That's
these
different.
people.
Sleeping
no, it's the
around.
same thing if
No,
she
that's
walking
not
around
the
butt naked and Reynolds wrap is see-through.
I'm joking about Reynolds wrap.
Okay,
Okay,
but
I'm
it's
just
see-through.
saying
I'm just saying.
you could look sexy. What I said on that show was her messed with a whole bunch of people, and I look crazy with her.
If she's walking outside in Reynolds wrap, you look crazy walking with her. If she's
Yeah.
walking outside and you're fully dressed and she's in a thong and pasties, you still look crazy, sir.
Yeah, let me tell you, and I don't care if people can laugh at me.
And I do believe women could wear whatever they want. I'm just bringing it back to your topic.
I was with a woman, like I said, last show, and this girl, she messed with a whole bunch of people. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know how you could be talking to somebody right here, but this eye sees what this person's doing over here? So when she was right here, and I'm talking to her, I'm doing this, I see the guy do this to her. I look at her, she smirked. Like, so I'm just like, I saw it, but I didn't say nothing. I was like, I gotta get rid of this bitch. Nah, I already know it.
So if a woman was sitting there twerking in front of you, is it fair for her to be like, I ought to get rid of him?
No, he was saying.
No.
I
No.
remember.
It's still the same.
He was doing, you gave me head before. I missed that. I want that again.
So she's twerking in front of you because you smacked that ass before.
Who said somebody was twerking in front of me?
I'm just using it as an
I don't let
example.
girls
If a
twerk.
fe-
I steal money from girls when they
don't
twerk
let-
on me.
You don't let women twerk in front of you?
I steal the money.
Okay.
I worked at City Lights, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't care if girls get mad or get mad. Girls used to come on me and do it, and
It's just so
I used to have some singles. This is what I used to do. All men should do this.
no. Oh man, should do what?
She was twerking on me. You know, the women keep the money in them. I saw 20s. I saw 50. I had a bunch of singles.
You
So I
gonna get
put
some
50
man
out,
shot.
and I put 10 singles in there. She didn't know. She think, thank you, Daddy. She didn't know till she probably got in the back. So,
Strippers take the money, roll it up, and put it inside you.
what?
Hey,
Inside you?
hey,
What? The bra?
bra,
Oh, you
vagina.
can't. No, heck no. Dirty money?
Put it
That's
in
not
the
good.
Put it in the condom.
See, you're teaching.
Put it in the condom.
Look, the bottom line is, I don't have a problem, and some men shouldn't have a problem with a woman making more than you. If you're a team. If you're not a
No,
team, and
yes.
y'all just messing around, hell no, she
But-
can't. She living with me? And she
No,
make
but
more
your
than me?
main thing is them being a team. So no matter who's making more money, they're a team.
Yeah, but she can live with me. And then when she get up and when she want to be gone,
you're changing
I'm
the
messed
scenario.
up.
You're changing the scenario.
Mhm.
If you're a team player and when she leaves, you're still gonna be making money.
Okay.
Right or wrong?
Like I said,
You're still gonna be okay.
the moral of the story is play your position. Like I said, we talk about issues, some stuff that some people agree with, some stuff they don't. Lady
SAVvage.
and DJ
Superior.
You thought I forgot my own name? All right. Big shout out to y'all. Next show, we'll see you soon.